Current Affairs, and today our topic is going to be the rise and fall of political Islam of the Muslim Brotherhood. After only 1 year in rule, Egypt put to trial the deposed Mohammed Morsi of the Brotherhood for charges of corruption, brutal killing of protesters, espionage, treason, and jeopardizing the national security of Egypt for the sake of the Muslim Brotherhood's own personal interest, and many other charges only in 1 year of rule. After the fall of the Muslim Brotherhood elements or group here in Egypt, what could be the future of political Islam elsewhere in the Middle East, and what could be the alternative for that kind of groups, the jihadists, the Islamists, and what is the difference between the different factions of political Islam, and the role of the U.S. administration in the region? Will it come to a change? These are questions raised after the fall of the Muslim Brotherhood here in Egypt on the hands of the Egyptian people and not on the hands of the army. We're very delighted to be hosting later on in the program our prominent guest, Dr. Ismaiel Hamid, the researcher in Islamic history. But first, we take a quick look over the local scene. The 50-member Constitution panel resumes in closed sessions as discussions over articles of the draft Constitution. Earlier on Wednesday, the Constitution Drafting Committee had initially approved 65 articles and started tackling the chapter concerned with the ruling system. Committee spokesman Mohammed Salmawi said discussions over the second chapter of liberties, the fourth chapter of the law of sovereignty, as well as 17 articles of the first chapter were concluded. Foreign Minister Nabil Fahmy arrived in Madrid on Thursday in a two-day visit, during which he will hold talks with his Spanish counterpart, Manuel Garcia Marello. The foreign minister also scheduled to meet with the Speaker of the Spanish Parliament, as well as leaders of the Spanish Federation for Business Organizations, which takes part in key investments in Egypt. Fahmy's agenda also includes TV and press interviews and meetings with a number of Spanish intellectuals, politicians, and public figures. The foreign minister's visit will tackle means of enhancing bilateral relations in the economic, trade, and cultural fields, in addition to several issues of mutual concern. The State Council referred the law of demonstrations to the Cabinet after modifying it. Cabinet's media advisor Dr. Sharif Shawi said the Council will in turn will review the draft law before submitting it to the President to be approved. The lawyers' team defending ousted president or the deposed President Mohammed Morsi of the Brotherhood said the panel is taking the legitimate procedures to visit the deposed president in Burj Al Arab prison in Alexandria. Coordinator of the team, Mohammed Al-Damati, said the panel is supposed to reach a defense strategy for Morsi in the case of killing protesters near Al-Ittihadiyya Presidential Palace in December 2012. Al-Damati noted that defense is going to convince Morsi of appointing Dr. Mohammed Salim Al-Awa as his representative before the court. The defense panel's move is to avert appointing any other lawyer by the court. And head of the Suez Canal Authority General Mahab Mamish dismissed reports that Egypt had contracted with an Israeli company to secure the ships that passed through the Suez Canal. In a press statement, General Mamish said the armed forces represented in the naval and air forces, the second and third field armies, border guards, and internal security are securing the strategic water lane. He added that the canal is highly secured and capable of defending international trade convoys day and night. And Cairo Court for Urgent Matters on Wednesday dismissed a request by Muslim Brotherhood for an injunction on a court ruling banning the movement and ordering its assets freezed. The judicial sources said the Urgent Appeals Court in its ruling on Wednesday dismissed a request from the Brotherhood to suspend the ban. The official MENA news agency reported that the Brotherhood lawyers had demanded the injunction until an appeal is filed and a verdict is made. A court in September had banned the movement from operating. In the initial September 23rd verdict, the court had ordered the Brotherhood's assets seized until criminal courts delivered their verdicts in ongoing trials of the group's leaders and members. Wallah, that ends our first part. A look over the local scene. Now, coming up is the second part, the main topic with our prominent guest, Dr. Ismail Hamid, the researcher of Islamic history, the rise and fall of political Islam in Egypt, the future of these groups and the political Islam elsewhere in the Middle East. These are all questions that are going to be raised in the second segment, so stay with us.